Welcome to the illustration block, CG Spectrum's Twitch channel. And I am your host, Eric Wilkerson. If anybody is out there watching this, just type in the chat window that you can at least hear me before you go off and, watch TV or something, just so that I know that I'm not talking to myself. That would be awesome. Right. Well, I don't know if anyone can. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot of technical difficulties with this every week. And all right, great. So see me. All right, great. All right, so I'm just going to get started. So if anyone has any questions or uh, anything, just leave a note in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to just sit here and draw this woman. And try to add in some kind of narrative details to convey some kind of story. So now the reference, all right. So the reference that I have open here is from an old book cover that I did many years ago. So I've got like a whole bunch of these images, and they're like really high resolution, really good reference. You know, use for this. So figured I would start off sketching in her body, her face, and all that, and then work into any kind of costume design or narrative elements after that. So a lot of this, I think I want to try to do this as a multi-week project, something that I can just take my time on and come back to. So I know I keep saying that, that I'm going to work on something and come back to it, but I'm actually going to do it this time. So I put this reference in the on Slack for students. So if you are a student at CG Spectrum and you would like to draw along with me, paint along with me, or whatever you want to do, you can grab that reference over on Slack. Okay. So I think I'm gonna just loosen up a little bit and just do some quick gestural stuff with it before trying to get into finalized drawing. If anybody is out there actually watching this, please let me know. Uh, Sometimes I wonder if I'm just sitting here talking to myself for 2 hours. Not, but rush back. All right. Hello. I'm doing good. How are you? Blasphemer. Hey. Right. Good. Sheet. Harry Potter's broom. Okay. Lindley. All right. This sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Glad to hear it. All right. So, um, sometimes I'm not sure talking to myself or not. Fun with it. Every time I think about putting some music on, uh, I never know if audio is too loud for the music, if it drowns out the sound of my voice. So, really anxious about that. Shouldn't, but here, go listen to your own music while you're watching this. You can play your own tunes if you want to. Whenever you're drawing stuff, if any of you have sketchbooks, whenever you're drawing stuff, you might think to yourself, okay, nobody's ever going to see this, so I can just, this doesn't have to be a winner, right? I can just, uh, I can phone this one in. This is just a loose sketch or just a rough thing. Then you come into Twitch with that same mentality, then all of a sudden there's people from all the world watching you just sloppily do some crappy sketch. And uh like they hired this guy? Like I would have been done with the drawing by now. Yeah. Very loose. I am trees or shedding their pollinated juices all over the place. It's just disgusting. That stuff in. Oh, when will my kid teach you guys how to draw? You're not ready for her. Not ready. She's not a patient. She's not a patient teacher. Well, you know how she would say how she would teach you guys to draw? Here's the 5 steps she would go through. Draw a circle and draw the eyes, draw the face, draw the mouth, draw the nose, and then from there it would be like draw the ears. Oh my god, I'm loving this way more than drawing this woman's face. And she'd say draw the hair, draw the eyes, but they have to be looking in different places. You gotta see where you're going at all times. Okay? Then you want to draw the neck. Wait, or no, is that the whole body or the neck? No, that's the neck. And you want to draw the body. Got a little bit of tummy. So, I mean, we could go that route. Or we could sit here and watch me just hatch lines for the next 2 hours. Oh, do you really? I mean, do we uh do we give him a candy cane or a lollipop or something? So, here's a thought because I was gonna just draw this figure, just playing with this figure's body. But um I was talking with one of my students earlier today about style, coming up with different styles or drawing different things. Um Having more than one look, being able to do more than one thing. Uh, like somebody that does realism, being able to switch over and do like children's book work, cartoon characters, something like that. And thought about, well, have you guys ever practiced? Have you guys ever played with trying to do different styles? Because doing stuff like a cartoonish head or something like that it's it is actually deceptively hard because you think to yourself, well, not a lot of detail, there's no actual human proportions. That's simple. I mean, if you're only doing it once, but then if you have to draw that character multiple times, um, then it gets a little bit more complex. Saying you like to switch from anime semi-realistic. Yeah, it can be fun. It can be a fun challenge for yourself. I'd say go for it. So before I start thinking about what character details, costume details, all that stuff I want to do with this character, um, I want to get that foundation, get this the drawing to a decent point where I can then start thinking about what this character, who this character is. Probably should have kept the shading different layer. I don't know. Exposed belly, or if this person's going to have like full armor or something like that. Now let's start to think about the environment that this person is in. Um, what are they doing? This woman has her hand raised like this. She's got a knife in her hand. So, you know, we play with that element. Um, so we can say that the hand. So, whenever you're composing a piece, whenever you're working out an idea, it's not about doing a pretty drawing or even an accurate drawing. Just about trying to get the shapes and everything right. Try to lead your eye through her hand. So what is she doing? Have sword. So we could have, let's say that she's got some kind of telekinetic powers. She's got, there's the objects, something going on. But anyway, I'll worry about that. fun to just do kind of loose sketches like this, opposed to trying to nail likeness, something like that all the time. Because here you can just focus on quick drawing. One thing that one of my drawing teachers, I remember one of my drawing saying a long time ago, don't get attached. Don't get too attached to whatever it is that you're creating. Always be ready to erase the entire thing completely. Any advice for drawing really hair? Yeah, don't do it. No, let's see. I mean, if you treat the hair like it's just a shape, you're just gonna come in here. Think of it like, think of, like if we look at her hair, okay? I don't want to turn this into a class, but if we look at her hair and we look at this as shapes, this is this mass here. That's a piece. That's a shape. That's a shape. Whole thing. That's a shape. Right? So if you treat it like this, then you're only focusing on one shape at a time. Okay? You know, you'll see people try to get into drawing every strand of hair or something, and that's nuts. I know oil painters that do that. Very, very thin, you know, 000 brushes trying to get each one of those strands. But that's after they've already blocked in the entire form. But they're taking it one chunk at a time. Then building it up from shadow, midtone to highlight. In this case, it's just like 2 values of brown and then a cool light blue highlight. So next time you're drawing long hair, don't think of it like you have to sit there and scribble and do all this. Just block and form. Then fill the entire form with one flat shape, one flat color, like the darkest shadow. Then build it your midtones. Okay, so I mean, if you're looking for some secret sauce that's going to, you know, be a shortcut to doing it, doing something you already know how to do, I can't give you that. So I mean, it sounds like you already know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm sorry, this isn't that YouTube channel where I say, here's 5 like perfect tips on how to. No, I get you. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's the technique that I would do for this is pretty much similar. I move from dark to light, just build it up. Now, if I were doing this in pencil, it would be the reverse. I would uh, approach this by shading a midtone value over the entire hair. Um, and then I would use darker and darker leads. And then I personally would probably take a kneaded eraser, an eraser, and erase out the highlights of the hair. I mean that's pencil, and who's like, who wants to learn about pencil drawing? Ew, dirty word, right? All about digital. So, um, now, if there's anybody out there watching that would like to offer up suggestions for um, costume, here's your chance. Like, what should she be wearing? Let's hear from the gallery, right? And no, she can't be naked. So, like, watch my eye roll. Okay, a robe. A robe, and let's go with something that would be more form fitting. A chainmail tunic. Wow. All right. um yeah. I mean that's too easy, Lindley. Come on. Come on, chainmail tunic. Yawn. Okay. And leather leggings with a belt. I mean, yeah. Okay. Nobody said like uh nobody said giant spacesuit yet. There you go. Lindley, she knows me so well. All right. Spacesuit it is. I mean, you don't have to pull my arm. Um I mean, we're not doing fashion, not like a fashion show. Okay. Sorry. Let's see. Let's play around. A bodysuit. Okay. So why not then play with the idea of, let's play with the, we're gonna say bodysuit or any black, yellow, more like a bodysuit. Okay. But what I'm thinking is do it like um like something that she stepped into, right? It's wrapped around her body. Got some in knees. Try to get that whole silhouette popping. How about we the bodysuit, some kind of funky looking rollers. I don't know, right? Um, ah, but here's the thing: bodysuit legs have to. The hard casing part of it has to stop right. And you say, well, why is that? Because at some point she has to close her legs, right? Whenever you see somebody walking in those like big spacesuit, big sci-fi suits of armor and stuff like that, you gotta ask yourself: do their legs chafe? Like is all of that metal or fiberglass or whatever that material is made of is just scraping? It's like wraps all the way around their thigh, right? So that's one thing they never really address is if you're walking in that, you just constantly grinding your legs together. So um, maybe this area is soft leather, rubber material, something like that. Hope that makes sense to people. Um, Upper torso. Do we keep the upper torso? Is there bodysuit stuff going on there, or are we just gonna do? No, guys, your call. Tell me. So, are you saying like just keep her, um, just keep the body armor, the body suit part, just for the legs, and just keep her upper torso? What? We can't go naked with this because this is a G-rated episode, and there could be like impressionable 6-year-olds watching. Shoulder armor. Um, I know there's a joke where there's some comic strip where like men in concept art get to wear full body suits of armor and lots of pads and bulletproof vests and things like that, giant guns, and women are like half naked with swords and stuff, like exposed belly. Like nobody's running out into a battle. You talking about logic? I'm always talking about logic. Breasts can be included. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. So let's say, let's say this is coming off of her. She's like stepping out of it or about to. So it's like hand is raised like that, right? And maybe she's dropping the helmet or she's holding the helmet, something. Very soft. Let me find. So very soft material around the belly. Yeah, because there would have to be, um, right. So there would have to be some kind of soft material uh, in here, uh, just for the stomach to be able to bend. But we also don't want to do anything that prevents um, the character from being able to bend forward or side to side. So, and that's another thing that, so any kind of armor, any kind of body armor, thing like that, stop about what funky stuff. I mean, right now this is all kind of just more trying to think of functional workarounds for a lot of things I see. Sci-fi. Let's make her be able to arms, arm pads. Probably. I point my students to the movie RoboCop a lot, probably more than I should. Probably talk about RoboCop way more than I should. Um, and how genius that costume is. I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original like 19 classic where there was a dude in an actual giant metal costume uh that would take like an hour to drill him into. Because the genius of that was that they had this huge metallic upper body, these big stomping legs, sound effects and all that that fit. Um, but the midsection was just all black because they wanted the actor to have the mobility, turn, bend, and that's that's the the practicality of the costume. Um, had to be functional. It just couldn't look cool. You could design a lot of stuff that just looks cool, but the minute you put a performer into it, you just have to go. This isn't practical at all. Nobody's ever going to wear this or be able to move around in it. Maybe we go Final Fantasy with hand, right? Just ridiculously large gauntlet thing for no reason at all. So what I'm building up here is something that I will end up continuing to develop um, next few sessions. So and what's going to be difficult, not being all up, show references I may want to look at while this, just for like copyright reasons, whatever legal reason. Uh, which we've got the enough of a torso, enough of a body, a face, and all that in place to then start to work over top of So how do we say that she is capable of holding this giant gauntlet arm? Do we make her arms robotic? Like completely robotic? Do we go Winter Soldier with her? Um, or do we just say screw it to the laws of physics when it comes to giant gauntlets and the human arm? A lot of wires. So I'm not a fan of wires. I'm not a fan of putting a lot of exposed wiring on costume designs because I kind of feel like you don't see that uh you don't see that in real life. You don't see a bunch of sports cars don't have their engines just hanging out on the outside. All of that stuff is concealed. Uh, hmm. What guy are you talking about? I don't know what guy you're talking about. Sure. So let's. I don't know what I want to arm here. Did go kind of wire. I just kind of feel like whenever I see exposed wire like that, I just go, "Oh, well, that's how you defeat that person. You just rip those wires out, and the arm's not gonna work." Kind of like Bane from Batman. I mean, if you guys know who I'm talking about, Bane always had these giant exposed wires um, in his neck, in his arms, and every time he would crank up that super serum, it would make him like super strong. And just kept thinking, why doesn't Batman just cut those wires? Throw a batarang. You could throw a batarang from across the street and like bullseye somebody in the head, but you can't do that to a giant, slow-moving, muscle-bound dude. Again, it's like a rabbit hole. Um, Video is called "I Bought an Skeleton Wielder Giant Anime Arms, Anime Swords." Oh my goodness, this is a real thing. Don't watch. All right, so I'll have to take a look at that. Um, no, but I know exoskeletons exist. Know that. Um, so I guess at some point we have to say, well, technology would exist in the future where we wouldn't need more than uh, we wouldn't need more than some light machinery. I mean, some light uh, streamlined product to move around, move around. I mean, it's not a power suit unless we put a big glowing light in the center of the chest, right? because that's how all the cool kids do it. What, like a giant battery, like a big ridiculous Duracell battery looking thing? Do it. Or an explosion button, or big, just a big red shiny button in the center of the chest. It says don't push. Whatever you do, don't push this button. The big red shiny button. So play around. Oh, I should probably save this file. That would make a whole lot of sense, right? I love Guardians of the Galaxy more than any girl. I've seen that movie a lot of times. A lot. Never get tired of watching it. So you are, so is it Bukai? Bukai? So you are a martial arts guy and you say you can't identify with this kind of theme. You don't watch movies. Um, so what do you do? My God, what do you do with yourself? Like, oh my goodness. Read. You read? Read? You're one of those? You read books and stuff? Okay. Well, everybody's got their thing. Yeah. Let's see about rendering this in right now. Try to just um, what's the worst mistake an artist can make? I don't know. What do you think the worst mistake is? I'm sure probably have been told a number of different things. What do you think? Everybody's going to give you a different. Being afraid to erase and fix mistakes. The worst mistake is obvious, not hitting save. Those are solid answers. I mean, they're all right, but it's all depends on a certain point of view. What it matters to you. No, not to get philosophicals on not doing art. I think the worst mistake an artist can ever make is stuck in their own head and not trying. I have a number of students that give up. I'm over here on the wrong layer. I didn't even bother to tell me. Oh, that's right, because I didn't follow my own advice. I didn't do my layers. My God, man. That's all. That's all it took. See that? Half a second, just to name the layer. Missed it. Just rewind and watch me do it. Incredible. I'm not. I try not to be one of those people that's got Photoshop files that just say like layer 105. I say, well, what layer is the sword on? It's somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. I'm at layer 15. Yeah, I mean, you can sketch. That's fine. I just kind of like to not have a chaotic build. But anyway, but what I was saying is I have a lot of students and I've just met a lot of people that they get stuck in their own head and they say, "Well, I'm never going to be as good as, XYZ artist." Or their parent or guardian or somebody is whispering in their ear going, "Well, why am I paying money for this? Like what's the end goal? What are you going to do? Why don't you come work at the barbershop with me, sweep hair, chemist or something and just get a job," right? There's always going to be those that don't see that every aspect of our lives take for granted is created by some artistic person. shoes you wear, clothes on your back, phone in your hand, the car, entertainment you watch, all developed by artists. They're like, well, why don't you do something more important than that? I'm like, ugh. I had a friend of mine, his whole family ganged up on him and told him, like, why don't you just give up and go do something else? You've been trying long enough. It crushed him. His own mom just was distraught. I remember him saying that they might as well have just punched me in the face. Yeah, don't give up. Get stuck in your own head. Don't think that you can't do it. Uh, let's see. What's more important than bringing people joy? Important than I don't know, cash? No, I don't know. Um, you know, there's I guess that's an altruistic way of looking at it. What's more important than your own personal happiness? Spent literally literally spent the last 3 months in seclusion without talking to a single person. My God, that must be amazing. Well, and like, what are you doing here now? Is that not? Well, I guess that's not technically talking because you're probably in a silent room. But as far as jobs go, I can't think of anything more miserable than doing something you day in day out for like 30 years and then dying and saying to yourself or like thinking to yourself in your later years, I wish I had done something differently. I wish I had pursued that thing I was passionate about rather than listening to my parents that told me to give up and go find a job or something like that. A lot of people out there every day. Met a woman that wanted to be a marine biologist, and I said, well, why don't you become a marine biologist? Well, I've got kids. Okay, so then study at night when they go to bed. Oh, I can't do that. Right. Made your choice. And no regrets. No regrets. No regrets. What is that tattoo? Regrets. No, yeah, it was spelled wrong. Like somebody has a tattoo on their back. It was a meme. Was it a meme? It was something I saw on Facebook years ago where somebody had the word no, it was spelled R-E-G. Regrets. It was regrets. It was amazing. Wow. And I don't think the tattoo artists, I'm pretty sure the tattoo artist knew how to spell, but they did what they were asked to do. Spell it wrong. I don't know. I don't know who's to blame for that. I just thought that was pretty funny. Wow, seclusion for thoughts. I'm working on a six pack too. Haha. I've had a um abs challenge going on with my sister-in-law for the past uh 3 years now. But see, every time we get started, something derails our efforts. Like some catastrophe happens in the news, and then we can't focus on exercising. You know, pandemic, can't exercise during a pandemic. You know, there's movies to watch. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I want to get abs, but it's very upsetting. Body weight alone. So you're doing body weight exercises, just weights for the arms. So you're doing body, what is that called? Calisthenics? Calisthenics. Cool. Um, Interesting. So your diet must be pretty strict. Exactly. Well, no, I think that is the name. It's just to let you know, body weight. Like, what are you eating then? What, or better yet, what aren't you eating? No, what's your diet? All right, so everybody, let's not pay attention to what I'm drawing. We need to know what Kukai is eating or not eating to get abs, because I'm pretty sure everybody here does not have abs except for Kukai. Gonna bet money. Fish 2 times a week. Are you guys writing this down? Lindley's like, not true. Check out this six pack. I'm like, well, we can't see him, Lindley, so they don't count. Oh man, so blasphemers got abs too? Hold up, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Am I the only one in this Twitch stream without abs? Is that what you guys are telling me? No, and I don't like none of y'all right now. Whatever, whatever. All right, I'm gonna do it just like they did in that movie 300 and just paint the abs on, airbrush it, call it a day. Photoshop it, Photoshop it. Just Photoshop some abs on. Tell my sister-in-law I won the challenge. I don't even remember what the prize is. I think it was like go to Red Lobster or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'd have stronger words for you, all you people flexing and not. I'll, I'll come to dinner. I'm just gonna do these crunches real quick. Keep my abs popping. If I was walking around with a full pack of, I call them Brad Pitts. If I was walking around with a full pack of Brad Pitts, probably wouldn't wear shirts. Just go to the grocery store. They have a sign on the door that says no shirt, no service. They'd make an exception. Just make sound effects for no reason. Pow! Put t-shirts on, just make pow sounds. Pow. Oh, my father told me I had a full pack back before I got my tonsils out when I was a little boy. And he said to me recently, then after you got them tonsils out, you just kept eating. He said you just kept eating and eating and eating. I was like, thanks, Dad. Thanks. Dad, you just kept eating. Man, never, man. Always hated sweet food and fast food anyway. Oh, loved soup and vegetable. It's kind of cliche, but I'm just gonna have fun just drawing this and stuff. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep on working on this for the next maybe 2 sessions, and then probably develop a little vignette narrative moment around her, because I'll figure out what she's wearing or she's holding in her hand at a later date. Um, Part of me, I want to explore maybe, just maybe, she's some kind of energy projectile weapon, a laser axe or something, which would be generating a rim lighting to this side of the body, gauntlet, and side of the. Can it be an energy axe? Why not? We're already going giant gauntlet arm. Might as well get funky with it. Particles? Like particles from what? Oh, flame, steam. Got it. Right, got it. I mean, that kind of stuff can be behind her, like she's standing in some kind of arena or something like. Ooh. So what if this? What if she's holding up the severed head of some kind of giant alien beastie? Right? So we can just go eyeball hanging out. Maybe it's got like like it's like a goldfish looking thing. Like this stupid look on its face. You just got your whole head chopped. Yeah. Giant goldfish with a big chin, fin flaps, and a spine, parading her trophy. I don't know about Bounty Hunter. I feel like maybe she's just a gladiator. Bounty Hunter, I don't know. I'll think about it. Think about it. Gotta make the flesh and bones on the head really visible. Flesh and bones on which head? What are you talking? I'm not sure. I'm not following. Like, how was the head ripped off? Oh, got it. Well, I guess there wouldn't be any spine if she cut it off at the head. So, good call. So, this would probably be a clean cut then. So, we would probably have to go with like some kind of laser hot molten edge to that, right? I don't know. I mean, she could have also slowly gutted him, right? And let's just go with that. Maybe she gutted him. She pulled him out, pulled his back out, cut him off at the waist, ripped his spine out, head and everything. Just like Predator. Yeah, she did. She pulled a Predator. I don't want that. Let's just. That takes a lot of explanation. We don't want to do that. We want it to be very clear narrative. Like this guy's whole head got lobbed off. Surgical cut. Cauterized it. And then we could just have whatever it is behind her on another, whatever this goldfish looking thing was. A little bit of pool, right? A bit of something. She's on roller skates, so maybe she just rolled right up on him. Didn't even hear her coming. Just slice. That'll be fun. All right. How was the head ripped off? First off, smashed off. Gladiator ripped off, ripped out. Fine. Yeah. I think she probably poked him in the chest with it, punctured his heart. So he wasn't even alive when she cut off the head. Ooh. So do make the eyes roll back in the face. Just like that tutorial I was just giving you guys. So we draw the head, draw the eyes, back and different spots. Daughter taught me that one, so that the person can look different directions at the this thing. Some of this might end up changing because I don't have like my vehicle reference usually stuff junks. Usually would sit here with um some kind of automotive so that I am very clear on how I want to different pieces of the body or of the suit. Layer 21, goodness, like commit. At some point you gotta commit. Just gotta say, you know what it's gonna be. Okay, so then delete delete 18 of them. Delete 18 of your layers. I mean, I'm really technically only bouncing back and forth between the same two right now. I mean, I've established my tones and stuff like that, but I don't need any more what I'm doing. I think I'm on 2. That's all. At some point, you just gotta confidently just bake it in. Just say to yourself, "This is what it is." I mean, and I'm not thinking about. I'm not worried about whether or not the leg designs match or anything like that right now. I'm just trying to get something in place. What I find fun is to sometimes use the dodge tool. You guys ever use the dodge tool around? I love it. Yeah, I use the smudge tool a lot. It's part of my whole kind of blending process, actually. How do you how do I texture my hair? And showing extra hair. Like um well, I used to use Head and Shoulders, but more these days I just use electric razor. Um Philips. Philips razors. None of that Remington, Remelco, whatever the other brands are. Don't go with that cheap bargain Walmart brand because you will slice up your scalp. Just forewarning, all right? Um, Other than that, yeah, no, no Walmart in Germany. Bless you. They're coming for you though. Just letting you know, they're coming for you. All right, they're gonna bring a big slice of American apple pie to Germany, and it's going to level uh your entire economy. How do you have an Aldi and not a Walmart in Germany? How does that work? I don't understand. What? So Aldi is in everywhere from New Jersey to Germany? Oh, really? I didn't know that. Huh. So so we let Aldi come over here, but nobody wants Walmart in their country. That's telling. That's telling. Because somebody was like, well, what happened to all the mom and pop stores after Walmart came to town? Oh, well, they all closed. They couldn't compete. They were all wiped out. Oh, man. Are we saying anything disparaging about Walmart right now? Gonna get flagged? Fined? Sam Walton gonna rise from the grave and smite us? Smite? Smote? Smoten? Smoted? Smeat? I don't know. That word sentence. Sure, it's not. My Ryan or Eric? Who's Ryan? Wait, is there a Ryan? My God. Who's Brian? Oh, wait, no. Is there a Brian? There is a Brian. Oh, man. I know who the other mentors are. Ryan Waller. Never heard that name before in my life. Is that a concept art mentor or because this is part of the concept art department. Brian is E guy. Pretty sure he let's look at shading. Commit. I don't need to have this black. Ash Blossom, do I have an Instagram page? I do. And it is quality. If I do say so myself. No, I do. It is Eric Wilkerson Art um, on Instagram. If you like what you see, go ahead and smash that follow button. That's what the kids say. Smash it. Then leave a comment and say that you smashed the follow button. I don't know. I don't think people do that. Yeah. Some um am I responsible if you break your screen? Um uh you're saying Kukai is asking us, am I responsible if he breaks his screen? Only if you are smashing your head against it. um well, I mean, you could also do that on your phone. I mean, how violently are you smashing? Well, the gently smash, I guess you could say. You can only smash a touch screen so hard before through it, but it won't click it. Oh man. Um, no. No, the answer is no. If you smash things, will break. But that's what the cool kids say on YouTube. Follow um, child stars and influencers, and this one photographer I follow on smash that like button. You like what you see? Smash that like button. Go to my Patreon. Give me some money. Pretty sure exactly what, like, and not even a joking way. Yeah. Pierce the button with your pen. Yeah, something like that. There's this technique that used in college. Um, wipeout, wipeout technique. Start by putting an umber tone down on the surface that your painting surface, and then you use a rag, a dry rag, wrap it around your finger, lift up the paint so that you are exposing the uh, toned white, off white surface canvas that paint. This is kind of the digital equivalent of that. I mean, I could just as easily just paint over it, but this is just fun. Actually, I'm doing it wrong. I want to do it in a non-destructive layer map. Uh, this the reference photo. What movie is she from? This isn't from any movie. This was reference photo, part of a reference pack of photos that I took for a book cover I did many years ago, back in like 2010. So yeah. You do the textured canvas for each of your art pieces? No. Tatum, it's a good question. I don't. Um, I do it here because when I started doing this stream, I was um trying to do more illustration composition type projects or examples, and it was quickly becoming a a free class, and that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So um, I decided to start doing little painting experiments, painting demos, and portraiture, focusing on portraiture, things like that. And I wanted the drawings, the head studies, and other detailed studies that I would do to feel like I was working on traditional surface. I This is just a scanned sheet of paper from my sketchbook, and I just bring it in. It makes me more comfortable rather than working on a flat white or a flat gray uh, surface. Sense. Yeah. So uh, sometimes I'll take this same texture, the same kind of granule uh, textured surface. I have a brushstroke layer, like an impasto brushstroke layer, and this kind of textural looking layer that I will adjust the blend mode on, and I overlay that over a lot of my digital illustrations at the end, which kind of unifies everything and eliminates uh, the impasto brushstroke stuff. It kind of eliminates any of the dead giveaway Photoshop digital brushstrokes that I might put into a piece, um, and unifies the piece, unifies the digital illustration to bring it more in line with what I can do with oils. So that's always fun to do. That's like that final touch, that final little. Ooh, name these layers, man. What are you doing? So what I'm gonna do is, like I was saying, I'm gonna come back to this, continue to build it up, continue to work on it over the next couple of sessions. So feel free to join me if you like. Same time, same channel stuff. It's always fun to take a reference like that and see what you can do with it. See what comes to mind, what you can, what it evolves into over the course of a few minutes, a few hours. Um, if you're a student of CG Spectrum, I'm really interested to see what some of you um, might do with that reference. Excited to see, because I know that some students don't have access to quality reference. They're stuck using their fat uncles and stuff like that. That everybody's uncles are fat, but you know what I'm saying. or they don't have reference at all and they just make it up. Shows, but like if you can get your hands on some quality photo reference, whether you're getting it from a stock site or paying for it, or getting one of those reference packs from uh, some Gumroad website, whatever you can do to get your hands on quality material so that you can practice, is always better than just phoning it in and making it, right. So that's what I got for you guys today. Martin is asking, what makes a sci-fi armor look sci-fi? Sometimes I've designed sci-fi armors that look more fantasy medieval than sci-fi. Um, what makes a sci-fi armor look sci-fi? Well, for me, for starters, I try to incorporate um, more industrial looking shapes into the design. Like if your sci-fi armors are coming out looking more medieval, then your your sensibilities are leaning more toward traditional medieval suits of armor. Um, the functionality of that. Uh, but what I would suggest is taking a look at motorcycles, take a look at concept cars, take a look at vacuum cleaners and industrial designs, um, and ask yourself, what would it look like if the whole gauntlet of my sci-fi armor was based around the design of a BMW engine? And you just like take that and you squash it and you warp it and you twist it into something that is completely a unique shape that doesn't remind you anything of anything that exists now or from the past, medieval, whatever. Then you've got a sci-fi piece of a sci-fi design. It's got to feel recognizable, but not futuristic, plausible. That makes sense, right? But if you're instantly looking at your sci-fi designs and you're getting a medieval fantasy feeling from it, I would start over or continue building it up until you have something that feels more unique. That said, like I can come in here to this woman's gauntlet and do more of that. Right now, I've just laid in a silhouette, but I'm going to do a little bit more to it next week and work out what her other arm design is. Maybe that other arm is completely robotic. So like, what does that do to the chest plate or the torso? Are there more exposed wires or bolts or I don't know, counterweights somewhere on the body? I'll work that out next week. Yeah, hope that answers your question, Martin. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just stop by next week and we will chat about it. All right. And if you're a student at Martin, if you're a student at CG Spectrum, you can always uh, reach out to me through Slack and like send me that image you're talking about. That's giving you those medieval vibes. All right. Um, so that's what I got for you guys today. I'm going to head out. So you guys have a good weekend and catch you next week.